Hey everyone, welcome to today's Breathwork training live stream. High five for showing up on a Monday. I'm happy that you're here. For our members joining us on live stream on our Muddy Networks platform, thanks for joining. And for our guests coming in via Zoom, welcome to this thing that we call Monday Morning Breathwork Training. This is the second Monday of the month, therefore we're going to take it up a notch in terms of intensity. Then, from last week's Monday session, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Anthony LaRubio from here at Recal. I'm a certified breathwork coach, and I'm happy to guide you through today's 45-minute training session. We'll begin the session in a seated position as we normally do, but as you make your way to that seated position, here's a couple of optional pieces of equipment that you can grab on your way there. Number one, we are going to utilize an optional resistance band, something like a Buteyko belt that I have here that can go around your waist. Something we're definitely going to use is a balloon, and yes, your average party balloon is sufficient for that. We're also going to, of course, have the option for you to use a pulse oximeter as well. So those are the pieces of equipment you can grab. Also, if you have a yoga mat or a blanket, that's nice for our finisher exercise, a nice down regulation breathwork training exercise. So hopefully by now you have made your way to that space. Go ahead and start to breathe normally in and out through your nose. Just settle in, maybe shake out the shoulders. We're going to start with something called a carbon dioxide tolerance test. The way that this test works, for those of you that have done training with me for a while, you know this. We're going to take a normal breath in through the nose and a normal breath out. Then you're going to take a really deep breath. Fill up your lungs as much as you possibly can. And then at the very tippy top of that inhale, you'll begin an extremely slow exhale. You're trying to extend that exhale as long as you can, get to the point that you're squeezing every last bit of air out of the lungs. And that is a carbon dioxide tolerance test. So, sitting up nice and straight, relaxing your shoulders. Let's take a normal breath in through the nose. And now a normal breath out. And now begin that deep inhale. Fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up. And now begin that slow exhale through your nose, ideally. You're trying to extend this exhale as long as you possibly can. You're breathing so slow that you can barely feel the air trickle out of your nose. For those of you wanting to keep time, we're coming up on the 30-second mark of your CO2 TT. If you're still exhaling, great job. As I mentioned, get to that point that you squeeze every last bit of air out of your lungs. We're at 50 seconds now. We are at 60 seconds. If you're still exhaling, great job. I set that 60-second mark as my mark that I like to try to get that CO2 TT, carbon dioxide tolerance test to. Okay, if you're still exhaling, awesome. For the rest of you, mere mortals like myself, we can go to our next exercise. This is something called the nose unblocking exercise, which we do at the beginning of every single one of our breathwork training sessions. It's just something that clears out the nose and gets us ready to do some nasal breathing. Let's begin by taking a normal inhale through your nose, a normal exhale, and at the bottom of that exhale, just pinch your nose, hold your breath, and just rock your head back and forth. You can follow along with me here. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Release your nose. Breathe in through your nose immediately after. We're going to do that 2 more times. The advantage of breathing in through your nose right after a short breath hold like that is it allows that gas, nitric oxide, to enter the breathing system. This is going to help to dilate our blood vessels as well as help with gas diffusion into the bloodstream, out of the lungs, and into the bloodstream. So let's take a normal inhale through the nose, normal exhale. Pinch your nose, hold your breath, rock back and forth, maybe even shake side to side. Whatever feels right to you. Be gentle with your neck, of course. We want to reach a medium level of air hunger with this exercise. Maybe that's 5 more seconds for you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and breathe in through that nose. Bring in that nitric oxide. Good work. A short breath hold also increases the level of carbon dioxide in the blood. That's going to also help to dilate our blood vessels as well. One more time of the nose unblocking exercise. Take a normal breath in through your nose. Normal breath out. Pinch your nose, hold your breath. Rocking and rolling on a Monday morning. We want to reach that medium level of air hunger, the feeling like we need to take a breath. When you reach that point, release your nose. Breathe in through your nose. Maybe you've already noticed now a bit more moisture in the nose. It's clearing up in that nasal airway. Good. So we're ready to go. We're going to do 2 different respiratory muscle exercises this morning, and then we're going to finish with one of our high altitude simulation exercises called high intensity maximum breathlessness test. So the first respiratory muscle training exercise we're going to do is an expiratory muscle training exercise. We're going to engage the muscles that we use to exhale, which is primarily your abdomen. So we're going to get a nice little ab workout this morning. This is something called balloon breathing, hence why I had us bring our party balloons. We're going to have a big party on a Monday. So the way that it works is I'm going to start a timer for 1 minute. In that 1 minute, I want you to try to blow up your balloon as many times as you can, but with full exhales. If you don't have a balloon, no problem. I don't expect everybody just to show up to a live stream with balloons in your pockets, like me, I guess. That's fine. What I want you to do is make a fist with your hand, and just like you're blowing into your hand to warm up your hands, this is what I want you to do instead. You can control the resistance of this by just opening your hand slightly or making a full tight fist. Kind of find that spot that feels comfortable for you as you do this exercise. Okay, so in 5 seconds, we're going to begin. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're off and running. Blow up that balloon as many times as you can. With each and every exhale, I want you to blow up the balloon as much as you can. Try to get all of the air out of your lungs. This is going to be an ab workout, like I said. If at any point in time you feel lightheaded, you can just breathe back in some of the air that goes into the balloon. We're at 30 seconds, or just take a couple of normal breaths and then come back into it. Again, you are in a seated position for this. We're at 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to do about a minute of slow breathing, just to downshift the system, come back to biochemical balance in the breathing. Go ahead and inhale on a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Just notice the air coming in. And exhale. Notice the air going out. We're going to do this one more time. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last recovery breath here. Inhale. And exhale. All right. Get your balloon ready. 1 minute on the timer, starting now. Deep inhale, exhale fully. As many times as you can do in 1 minute. I'm with you here. Nice ab workout. We're at 30 seconds. 20 more seconds. 15 more seconds. Get 2 more breaths in. Good. That's 1 minute. Let's do some slow breathing. If you lost your balloon because you popped it or something, that's bonus points for you. All right, do a normal breath in through the nose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on your own at that pace. Just slow breathing here to recover. Remember, if you feel lightheaded doing this exercise, number 1, ensure that you do this in a seated position. Number 2, you can breathe back in some of the air that goes out into the balloon. That's going to help regulate that capnic level, the CO2 levels of your blood. And number 3, as always, you can pause whatever I'm coaching you through, take a couple of breaths, and then just come back in wherever we're at that point. All right. That's about a minute worth of recovery breaths. Now what we're going to do, from a seated position again, we're going to do a little inspiratory muscle training exercise. This is basically, we're taking big inhales, but with 50% of our air resistance going. By the way, if you have a power breathe or even your sports mask, you can use that for this exercise. But here, I'm just going to coach you through 50% air resistance by blocking one nostril. So from a seated position with a straight up back, we don't want a lot of movement there. We're focused on just inhaling and filling up in the belly. We want to feel the diaphragm muscle, that muscle at the base beneath your lungs. We want that to be doing most of the work. We're also going to get some work into the intercostal muscles in our rib cage as well. So we're going to do 10 deep inhalation breaths here. So to begin, go ahead and exhale the breath out of your lungs. And now through your nose, block one nostril, deep inhale. Bring in as much air as you can, and now exhale. Deep inhale. Engage the diaphragm on those inhales, and now a natural exhale. Once again, inhale. Exhale. Block one nostril and inhale. And exhale. We're going to do 5 more. Deep inhale. Exhale. Maybe you're already feeling that fatigue in the diaphragm. Deep inhale. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. 3 more. You can do it. Come on. Deep inhale. Exhale. Remember, a nice straight up, still back. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to recover for the next minute. I did just block one nostril when I was doing that, just for demo purposes. My nose is running a bit. Note that you can block either one of your nostrils there. Sometimes, by the way, one nostril feels a bit more cleared up than the other. Maybe you go for the one that's more blocked. Just try to work with more of that resistance. Whichever nostril is fine. I just want at least one nostril blocked. If you used a sports mask there or you used a power breathe device, I want you to have that setting on 50% of the air resistance for the power breathe. And if you're using one of the sports masks from Oxygen Advantage, that highest setting is likely about 50%. Okay, we're going to recover for 10 more seconds, and then we're going to do this just one more time. Get out all the yawns. Sometimes doing breath work makes me yawn. Okay, one last exhale. Get all the air out of the lungs to begin. Straight back. Begin a deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Halfway through. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. This is your 10th inhale. Deep inhale. Exhale and let it go. Come back to normal breathing. Once again, if you feel lightheaded at all doing that exercise, take a couple of normal to slow breaths just to recover the chemistry of your blood, and then come back into it. Okay, nice work. That was seated inspiratory muscle training using 50% air resistance. Now we're moving on to the high altitude simulation portion of today's breathwork training session. What we're going to do for this is something called high intensity maximum breathlessness test. So it's going to look like that maximum breathlessness test that we use as an assessment, which is basically taking an exhalation, hold the breath, and walk as many steps as you can. But here we're going to actually do it as an exercise. We're going to do it 5 reps with 1 minute of recovery in between. So now you're going to need to stand up from that seat. Starting from standing up position, you're going to take a normal breath in, a normal breath out, pinch the nose, hold the breath, and walk. I want you to count your steps, because here you can gauge each and every rep by how many steps that you take. All right, let's begin. Take a normal breath in through your nose and a normal breath out. Pinch your nose, hold your breath, and off you go walking. I'm just going to walk in place here. Go for as many steps as you can. Remember, you're counting your steps. When you need to take a breath, release your nose, breathe in through your nose, and try to recover in about 4 or 5 breaths. We want you back to normal breathing in about 4 or 5. We'll recover breathing now for the next 45 seconds or so. That'll be about a minute depending on how many steps that you walked. When you recover breathing, this is now on breathwork training, also forever during any exercise. I want you to breathe through your nose, breathe slow, and breathe low. You're trying to fill up the lowest part of your lungs. This is where more of your gas diffusion into the bloodstream happens. So if you've been working with me for a while, you've seen this formula, NSL, nose, slow, and low. Okay, we're going to do our second one of these, 4 more in total. Let's go ahead and take a normal breath in through your nose, a normal breath out. Pinch the nose, hold your breath, and off you go walking. Count your steps. Go for as many steps as you can on that one breath. When you can't go any further, release your nose, breathe in through that nose after your breath hold. Doing great. Let's recover with NSL breathing. Nose, slow, and low. About 20 more seconds worth of recovery breathing. Ten more seconds. All right, coming into one last breath now. Take a normal breath in through your nose. Normal breath out. At the bottom, pinch your nose, hold your breath. Off you go. Go as far as you can. Really push yourself this time. Drop out of your head into your body. Handle that stress of breathlessness. You can do it. Go as long as you can on that one breath. And when you're done, come back to NSL breathing. We're here for 1 minute. That was set number 3. We've got 2 more. Focus on your recovery breaths. Use your breathing to downshift your nervous system. We ride that roller coaster up while doing a breath hold exercise. Let's bring that roller coaster back down afterward through recovery breathing. Your breath can be the lever between that fight or flight nervous system, sympathetic state, and rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system state. All right, 10 more seconds worth of recovery. Coming into one last breath. Take an inhale through your nose and an exhale. Pinch your nose, hold your breath. Off you go. Trust that you have more than enough oxygen in your system right now to handle this movement. This is just the rise in carbon dioxide that's making you feel out of breath. Get out of your head and into your body. Feel the movement of walking. Maybe even swallow if you need to swallow. Looking up and around just to relax the body. You're doing great. Push yourself, push yourself, push yourself. Going as far as you can on that one breath, and when you're done, come back to recovery breathing. We're here for a minute. We're going to recover, and then we're going to do this just one more time. recover with your breathing, thinking nose, slow, and low. You've got 20 more seconds of recovery. Ten more seconds now. Let's take one last breath together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Pinch your nose, hold your breath. Off you go. This is your last rep. Push yourself here. Count your steps. Make this as the most amount of steps yet. Relax into the contractions of the diaphragm. Maybe swallow if you need to swallow. Look up and around. That also relaxes the system. Great work, everybody. Awesome job, wherever you're at. Let's go ahead and recover. Think nose, slow, and low on recovery. All right. What we are going to do next is some hook-lying diaphragmatic breathing. We're going to do one set of this to charge up those inspiratory muscles once again. Then from the same position, we're actually going to down-regulate the nervous system. So if you want to go ahead and make your way to the ground, hopefully you've got that yoga mat, maybe even a blanket. I want you in a hook-lying diaphragmatic position. So that means that you're lying on your back, supine, right? So your face is upward. But I want your feet flat on the ground and knees at a 90-degree angle. The first rep of this, we're going to do 10 deep breaths with our hands just cupped around the rib cage. Maybe your elbows are resting against the ground beneath you. I want you to take 10 deep breaths with me. So go ahead and inhale through your nose and feel the expansion in the rib cage. As you exhale, just let the breath go. Inhale. Feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, just let the breath go. Good. You're doing that's rep 2. I want you to do 8 more of those breaths. Good work. Feel the expansion in the rib cage on the inhale, and then feel the contraction of your rib cage on the exhale. And if you're in that hook-lying diaphragmatic position on the ground, maybe you even feel expansion into your back, maybe pressing against the ground beneath you with each inhale. Your diaphragm, as well as your rib cage, that whole thoracic cavity moves 360 degrees around. We want to open that up with each and every breath that we take. Wherever you're at, let's take 2 more breaths together. Deep inhale and a natural passive exhale. Last time, deep inhale, natural passive exhale. Great job. That is hook-lying diaphragmatic breathing with a focus on inhalation. Now, from the same position, what I want you to do is take your fingers, interlace them behind your back. So it looks like this. Just on that lower back space, kind of filling the space between your upper back and your tailbone against the ground. From here, we're going to do a few breaths just to feel that space close a bit. Maybe you feel some pressure on the top of your fingers coming from your lower back as you breathe in. Then that pressure loosens up as you breathe out. Good. Just notice that movement. Focused on your breathing. We are done with the stressful part of today's breathwork session. Give yourself a mental pat on the back. I know your hands are occupied right now. You've done amazing so far. We just have a little bit more to go. The rest of today's session is going to set you up for a nice, focused, calm state. It's going to send you off into your Monday and your week ahead in a good frame of mind, hopefully. All right. You can take your fingers out from behind your back, but don't lose focus of feeling the breath move in that space. But just relax your arms down to your side. What we're going to do now is 5 consecutive physiological sighs. What a physiological sigh is it's a double inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. So it looks and sounds something like this. Inhale, brief pause, inhale again, exhale through your mouth. Let's do 4 more of these. Inhale, pause, sniff in again, exhale. 3 more. Inhale, pause, sniff, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, pause, sniff, exhale. And just relax on the exhales. Last time. Inhale, pause, sniff, exhale, and relax. Good. Find that relaxed state of mind, state of being. We're coming into perfect breathing now. That's an even count. Inhale and an even count. Exhale. Just follow along with the cadence of this piano playing. And now inhale. And when the chord changes, you exhale. Follow along with the piano. Finding that relaxed state of being. Just focus on your breath. This rhythm of your breathing allows that perfect relationship, that symbiotic relationship between your breathing and your respiratory system, your mind, and your heart. We're bringing that heart rate down by using a 5.5 second inhale and a 5.5 second exhale. Make this a little meditation. We're going to be here for the next 4 minutes or so. If you find yourself drifting off to sleep, that is fine. If you find that you've lost track of the breathing with the piano, that's also fine. Just give yourself a gentle nudge back in cadence with your own breathing. Breathwork is such a powerful tool. We can use it to train our bodies for better endurance. We can use it to adapt our bodies for the altitude. We can also use it to create this stressful state for our body and our mind, and maybe doing some mental resilience training, which you may have already just experienced there. we can also use our breathing and breath work to manually downshift our nervous system, create a sense of calm and peace. And that is what this portion of our breathwork training is all about. Finding that empty, quiet place inside our mind for just one more minute here. And slowly we're going to work our way back out of that exercise by taking a few normal breaths now, whatever natural pace of breathing feels normal to you. And gently start to move your body once again, maybe moving your fingers first, and then the whole hand, maybe rolling out your wrists. Now wiggle the toes, move the feet. Maybe even do a big stretch upward with your hands. Hopefully not breaking anything in the process. Leaning to one side and the other side. Maybe give yourself a little yawn. Shake things out. Start to make your way back up to a seated position. We are going to close, as we always do, with a little closing breathing tip. So this week, I got asked quite a few times about how to improve nasal breathing if you have a deviated septum or if you oftentimes feel yourself congested in the nose. And I understand that that's a challenge for many of you out there. So one of the things that you can do is, of course, use that nose unblocking exercise that we did at the beginning of today's breathwork training. That's one way to clear up the nose and get that nasal airway flowing before starting any sort of exercise, or even do that before sleep. I always recommend ensuring that you breathe with your nose while sleeping, by the way. So if you need something like mouth tape, that's not weird, I promise. It's totally normal to use mouth tape at night, or at least I'm trying to make it normal. So that's one approach to it, of course. But if you're training and you're really struggling to get the nasal breathing going, there are some tools that you can use that can be beneficial to you. One of those tools is something called a nasal dilator. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. Basically, you put it inside your nose, and what this can do is open up, dilate the entryway to your nose, and you can really feel the difference. Yes, it feels like you've got a nose ring on, and that's totally cool. I train with these often, especially if I'm doing some bigger challenge in the mountains or at altitude. I want to maintain nasal breathing, but obviously it's more challenging up there. This is an option to combat that challenge or setback of a deviated septum, or if you're just faced with strong congestion. So that is our closing tip for the day. I want to thank you all for showing up and bringing your best self, or at least the self that showed up this morning, here to me and spending your time with me. If you have any questions, again, if this is your first time here, if you've got any questions about our Mighty Networks platform and our monthly subscription-based model for these live stream breathwork sessions every Monday, go ahead and ask me either here on the platform, in the Zoom chat, or just shoot me an email at anthony@recaltravel.com. That monthly membership is $85, or a drop-in is $30. So you do get about a $10 savings per class if you do the monthly membership. And that's about it. Thank you so much again for joining. I'm Anthony from Recal. Have a great week ahead. I look forward to seeing you again next week. All right. Happy training, everybody. Take care. Bye.